Hi everyone. So right now I'm going to demonstrate how to mix your cyanotype chemistry and coat your paper with cyanotype chemistry. So I'll go over some of the things that we're going to need. We have our cyanotype chemistry here, solution A and solution B. Okay. A little mixing cup. Anything will do, a nice little cup. And brought a paper towel or a rag is good to have just in case you have a little bit of mess. I have some watercolor paper that I picked up. So here's the watercolor paper. And you can see that my table is covered with some newspaper, and then on top of that I put a little bit of white paper. It's good to have something absorbent to, protect your table. Cyanotype chemistry will absorb into anything porous. Plastic or metal, it pretty much just wipes off really easy. Oh, and then also you can see that I'm wearing gloves to protect my hands. Cyanotype is a mild irritant, but it could really turn your hands blue if you're not careful. So it's if you get any on your hands, it's good to wipe your hands off right away with some wet wipes or go wash them. So before I measure my chemistry, I decided I want to make a smaller amount. So what I'm going to do is this line right here says 2 cl, and I'm actually just going to go about halfway. That stands for centiliters. I'm going to do about half of that. So I have that mark. And so I'm just going to measure out up to the line of the A. This is the ferric ammonium citrate. That's solution A, and I'm going to pour that into my little mixing container. I got this for $1 at the hardware store. It's for paint, but it works pretty well for me. You could use a paper bowl or really anything. And since we're going to be mixing these together, you don't really need to rinse out this little measuring cup before you put the next chemical in, because it's all going to go to the same place. So this is solution B, and I'm just going to carefully try to mix this up to the line. Okay. It's good to make it close. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Cyanotype is very forgiving. I got a little drop here. I'm just going to wipe that off so we don't have any messes. And I'm just going to mix that in there. And that's pretty simple like that. And then I'll just go. So I have a 2-inch foam brush. These are, I've tested a lot of different kinds of brushes. This is the one that seems to work easiest for me. And I'm just going to get it wet, and then I'm just going to just run and get the excess off so it's not dripping. And then I just go and I'm just barely holding the edge of the paper. Now everyone has their own way of doing it, but I usually try to get one direction and then the other. Just barely touching the edge of the paper. And to get a really nice dark blue, a lot of times what I like to do is, oops, that dripped a little bit, a little too much on there. Is what I like to do to get a really nice blue paper is to coat the paper twice. You can see this second coat isn't quite as much. We'll just go like that. I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. Now, once we mix the A and the B chemistry, the cyanotype solution actually is already light sensitive, and you can see that there's a fair amount of light in this room. But I've done some tests, and in this kind of room light, it could actually sit for some hours without causing any problems. So that's fine. some people prefer to have some brush marks so they can really see that this was painted on. Other types of brushes leave some pretty good brush marks, but you can still get some decent looking brush marks. This is more a rustic look, so we'll do that. Now I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna dip this one more time, and you can see, if you could see the liquid in there, I have quite a bit of liquid still left. It really does go a long way. Once you mix the two together, you can put it in a separate container, in a dark container, and it will probably last for about a week. If you have a little, like an old film canister or something, I'm trying to think of, you know, some small dark container would work for that. So I'm gonna go back in, do my second coat. And just giving the second coat helps it just be a little bit, just a little bit darker. The little bit darker blue once it dries. So this little part's nice because then you can really see the difference between one coat and two coats. I'm seeing here it's not perfectly even, but that's okay. It'll have a nice look. So now we just have to wait for these to dry. And if you're in a hurry, you can actually dry it with a blow dryer, or you could put it by a fan. If it's gonna be a while, if you're not going to work on it today, you're gonna wait till the next day, you could dry it in kind of a darker room and then put it away in like a dark bag or something. But for now, this is what we got.